So, Flutter Engage was a grand event which was conducted last month. I guess it was on March 3rd. So, the Flutter team has come up with a new upgrade called Flutter 2 with a lot of exciting features and a lot of features they have given us to the development community, which is going to create a huge difference in the development community as far as concerned. So I'm really happy to give all the insights about what was introduced here. So the Flutter team has been working a lot. Flutter was, as you all know, Flutter was a official technology introduced by Google, and the Google team has worked a lot on Flutter for improvising from the day one of introducing the Flutter to the market. So for the past 3 years, we have been seeing a lot of significant features introduced, and in this Flutter 2, there are like a lot of features which they have came up with in terms of building themselves towards the market trends in the fast moving environment, and that definitely gonna create a huge impact over the development community, I can say. So let's go on by topics what has been discussed. So now Flutter 2 can be considered as a portable framework. More than a framework, it has given a one-stop solution for all the platforms. So Flutter 2 has been targeting more than mobile devices. Now they have been targeting all the operating systems like Windows, Mac OS, Linux, and web, including a lot of improvements in the existing mobile platform. So this has been a significant change which they have introduced, and now Flutter can be considered as a portable framework which gives you one code base for all these kinds of technology. I mean, all these kinds of code base. So this has been a major improvement they have brought in the Flutter 2.0, and this will give us one of the main reason for development community to switch towards Flutter technology, because now Flutter gives you one code base for all the platforms. So this is going to be a huge impact on the development community, and for that experimental purpose, as a proof of evidence, the Flutter team has associated with the Gskinner team for demonstrating the rendering of the application towards all the platforms. So this flutter.gskinner.com, this website will give you an entire overview of how the same application, this is a scrapbook application which they have created for the experimental purpose, which has been rendering high time in all kinds of devices like mobile, desktop, web, and tablets. So if you could see this article, or the demonstration what they have given, you could get a big idea of how the Flutter team has worked on minute details to make it render good across all the platforms. So this is going to be a huge change in the development community, I can say. So coming to the exciting news, the Google Pay application, which we use on our daily basis, because now everything has become digital, and Google Pay has become one of the prominent applications which we use in our lifestyle. And this Google Pay application, they have completely rewrote in Flutter as a proof of evidence that Flutter does big in the market. So now the Google Play application, which is available in the Play Store and the App Store, has been completely rewrote and has been migrated towards Flutter. So if you could see the lines of code, it has been reduced from 1.7 million lines of code to 1.1 million lines of code, which is making a huge impact in terms of the code base, making the application lighter also. And the tech debt went by 90%, reduced, and the engineering productivity was increased by 20%. Why? Because now the Google Pay application does not need native development in Android and iOS side. So now Flutter has given us a single code base for writing it in the across all the platforms. And now the Google Play application, which is available, Google Pay application is available in the real-time environment, is working fine and better than the previous one, which is very evident that Flutter gives us a lot of improvisations in terms of performance and stability. This huge risk has been taken by the Google team, and they have proven out with flying colors that Google Pay application is one of the main evidence that Flutter is doing big time in the market. Now, one of the exciting news, always this kind of technical associations helps us in building the community and the company in a better way. And now Microsoft has come up with an association with the Google team to introduce Flutter for their foldable phones, which is Surface Duo, which is the flagship phones, which is now introduced by Microsoft. So the association has been made officially by the Microsoft team and the Google team, and the Microsoft technical team. They have been supporting with all this display dimensions and matrix, for which the dual displays, the foldable displays, will be rendering in Flutter technology. So now Flutter development can be used for developing applications across the foldable phones also. And an association with Samsung devices with the company Samsung is also going on. So now Flutter proves us that it is irrespective of all the platforms or all the devices, Flutter renders us a one single code base application in across all the things. So which is gonna be a very great news towards the development community. Why only technical things like Android or iOS or tab? These are like normal usage, but Toyota company has come up with one exciting news that they have been building their next gen vehicle infotainment systems, which is powered by Flutter. Exciting, right? Because the dashboard, all the softwares which is being used in the dashboard, they have been experimenting with research and analysis with the Flutter team, and now the Toyota team has come up with a solution that all the dashboard systems are being powered by Flutter technology, which is a very exciting news. Maybe in future, if we get a new car which is like Toyota automobile vehicle, all the infotainment systems will be powered by Flutter technology. Maybe you could have one kind of a vehicle around you, so which is an exciting news for the development community also. So now Flutter proves that not only in normal kinds of technologies, Flutter helps us in embedded systems also, so which is also a great news. And this will help us grow the community towards the robotic systems and artificial intelligence, and lot kind of experiments will be carried forward on based on this kind of start. So this is an exciting news for the Flutter community. And the most exciting part comes here. Flutter Web is now stable. Exciting news, right? Because Flutter Web has been under research and analysis, and for the development working was taken care by the Flutter team for a lot of period. And now Flutter Web is being confidently announced in this Flutter 2.0. It is being shipped and migrated towards the stable branch. So now portability is ensured across all platforms, and web will be one of the target when you just write a code base for your mobile application. So now you don't need to switch between the channels for development. And now Flutter team has confidently come up with a lot of testing and research and analysis that now Flutter web applications will also prove high in the market. So web specific widgets like link widgets are being announced, which is also one of the more specific features towards the web technology. So now I think most of the developers, they will have a reason to switch towards Flutter technology on based on this Flutter web. So which is an most exciting news in the which is announced, and most important prominent news which is announced in the Flutter 2 upgrade. So this is one of the main thing. Next comes not only for web, Flutter is now supporting desktop applications also. So the desktop applications which has been especially created for Mac OS, Windows and Linux is now available in the stable channel of Flutter 2.0 with the early release flag. Now they have been developing towards all those improvisations, and later on this year, Flutter will be available on stable for desktop development also. In the stable channel without any flag. So now it is being prominently working, and lot of research and analysis is going on towards the desktop environment. And now here comes the most promising news that Ubuntu team, the Canonical team, who are the publishers of the Ubuntu OS, they have chosen Flutter as the default choice for the desktop and mobile apps created by them. And the Flutter SDK is available in the Linux App Store as an SDK. So now you can just download and utilize Flutter as a SDK, which is available in their Snap Store, which is very similar to the App Store or the Play Store, which is available. And for all their flagship products, Ubuntu team has taken this high risk, more than a risk. The trust they have on Flutter has increased, and they have chosen Flutter as a default choice for the applications which is being developed, which is a pretty good news, right? Because all these kinds of pioneers like Microsoft and Ubuntu, Linux, they are having trust on Flutter, and they are been doing some collaborations, which is a very healthy news for the Flutter development too. So installation of Ubuntu OS, the SDK will be shipped on a Flutter SDK, so which is very exciting, right? So when you just put an OS installation, and when you choose the disk on the size, everything will be shipped on a Flutter application. So these kind of trust and the compassion that the team has put on Flutter team is gonna help the Flutter improve a big time in the market. So this is a very exciting news here. So coming to the technical part now, sound null safety has been introduced in that. This has been in a discussion for a couple of months, and now the Dart team has brought a sound null safety system, helping in eliminating the null issues in runtime. So these kind of like sound static variables, smarter flow analysis, late variables, this kind of variables has been introduced in Dart 2.12 version, which is being launched right now. And this is one of the good news, that Flutter is now a robust and a strong language. So you can avoid all the exceptions and all the errors which is happening in the runtime itself. So which makes Dart a pretty good language for development also. And lot of packages which is available in the pub.dev has been migrated towards null safety, and people are adapting towards this null safety and making this as a mandatory thing for Dart development. So which is a pretty good news for all the projects which is available in null safety. And you have the provision to ship all the older projects which you have developed without null safety to null safety also. You have the provision to do that. So which is a good news, right? And the dev tools which has been prominently supporting the Flutter development has been upgraded with a lot of new features right now, with a lot of improvisations, auto corrections. All these features has been brought into the dev tool. So this technical features will definitely prove a huge difference in terms of development technicalities for the developers who are in the Flutter community. And upgraded Firebase plugins for plugin Flutter was being introduced. Like Flutter and Firebase are like close friends, and they're tightly coupled with each other, because for a lot of Flutter projects we have been using Firebase as a backend. So now authentication, Cloud Firestore, Cloud Functions, and Crashlytics, all these kinds of the core Firebase packages has been upgraded to null safety, and a lot of improvisations has brought in towards this Firebase packages also, which is one of the good news for Flutter development. And coming at the last, but one exciting news now, Google Mobile Ads SDK is available for Flutter. Previously, Google Mobile Ads was a service, and we can use it only as an overlay over the application. But now Flutter team has worked on a lot of improvisations here, and they have brought in this Google Mobile Ads as a Flutter widget. So now, using this SDK, which is available in the pub.dev, we can use all this widgets inside the mobile application. And this is one of the great exciting news for all the improvisation. And one of the prominent evidence here is Swa Musica, which is a US based music company. They have adopted this Google Mobile Ads as a beta program, and they have utilized this, and they have seen like 35% increase in the ad impressions in the private beta program, which is a very good news for monetizing the Flutter apps also. So Flutter now helps in marketing the applications also, which is also one of the good news. And this has been officially targeted by the Flutter team for monetizing the applications. So coming at last, so now to summarize everything, from the last Flutter upgrade, more than 25,000 merge request has been closed by the Flutter team, and more than 8,000 issues has been fixed by the Flutter team considering from the last upgrade to the new upgrade. So which is a pretty good improvement, and it shows that the Flutter team has been working a lot to improvise the technology and make Flutter as a optimistic and a performance oriented, a stable language. More than all the points discussed here, we have a lot of improvised improvise technical improvements which is being got into the Flutter 2 upgrade, which is available in the Flutter Engage event as a complete link. And they have written some articles also on that, which we can just refer it. I have just gave a small insight of all the technical aspects which is being brought into the new Flutter upgrade and what the community is being working on. So we as a community, we all will work together to improvise and bring Flutter to a big time in the market. And that's how we can do justice to what the team has been doing on. So adios to, and thanks a lot for everyone for their patient listening. Catch me on Twitter at this ID so that if you have any doubts or if we could discuss something related to Flutter, I'm always happy to help. And thanks a lot for listening to this event. Thanks a lot for the opportunity.